undertaking. This is allowed in the United States and America. And you can see why. People just don't use their mirrors. It was a problem. One of the big problems I have is that I'm sitting over 10 feet from the front of the car. The bonnet itself is 6 feet 6 inches long. Power! In Europe, cars are built to the nearest millimetre. In America, it's to the nearest foot.
Come on, you wazzock.
An image of aggression and anger, but unfortunately the job of naming it was given to someone from Birmingham, so it's ended up being called the Furai. The chassis is from an American Le Mans racer, which is the same as a European Le Mans racer, only fatter. This ride is totally unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. It's an American car, that's why the ride's so hard, because, hey, it's sporty. That's sporty, got no suspension, it's sporty.
It doesn't actually need much fuel. The rate it's going, it'll be round in seconds.
It's an American car, more cup holders than cornering, I reckon. Look at that.
Here we go.
One thing I can't stand, it's beardy, sanctimonious, patronising Americans in tartan trousers coming to England and trying to persuade us to turn it into a museum.
Two tyres, they are both quick through there. It's the inbred lunatic versus a car with no sense of humour, and they're pretty much neck and neck. Just 3-speed gearbox. The Americans, of course, terribly confused by the concept of 4 or 5. 6 is something they don't understand at all.
Jazz band orchestra of Great Britain or something.
Well, it's why is it called a teepee that fascinates me? That's the Americans are going to come and steal it and let you build a casino where it used to be.
That means it's actually faster than a Dodge Viper, so it's better than what the Americans can do when they get hold of an American engine.
A year had passed since Katrina had blown through, and we sort of assumed that after 12 months the wealthiest nation on Earth would have fixed it. But we were wrong. How can the rest of America sleep at night knowing that this is here?
You know how the insides of American cars
are chintzy.
Well, they're chintzy, and also the buttons have massive writing on them, and they sort of go, hey, wipers!
Do you know why that is? Why it's got writing on the buttons?
Right, instead of symbols.
Instead of symbols. Because everywhere else in the world, we acknowledge people speak different languages. They write wiper because what is French? Wouldn't you? Yeah, what is French?
Using a variety of ethically sound ingredients, and that means I won't be beholden to evil American corporations that murder baby veals and snap the beaks off chickens.
The American government came out and said Area 51 was real. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing because it's aviation testing place. It's Edwards Air Force Base.
Yeah, they say that. They'll never tell you exactly what it is. 62%.
Roswell was a nuclear experiment, I think, called Mogul.
62% of Americans believe in intelligent alien life.
80% of Americans don't have passports. Hammond.
What?
In America, there is a Corvette museum, OK? There's a photograph of it here. Now, as we know, the Corvette enthusiast in America is quite...
heavy.
Yes, they're bigger gentlemen, are they not?
Big boned.
Well, one of them visited the museum this week, and this happened.
Must have been a big one.
That was a big hole, and apparently 8 cars fell into it. There's a shot actually looking down. Look at that.
Oh, God, that's painful to see.
Damage was estimated at $37.
Was it? Was it?
We can't go that way, because those are the woods of North Carolina. Squeal like a piggy.
Oh, I don't want to squeal like a piggy.
And it's full of Huron who cut your head off, last of the Mohicans. Yeah, I saw that. So that way, down there...
What's over there?
NASCAR country. 90% of the world's NASCAR teams are in that view.
Banjos, Huron, good old boys, V8s, stakes.
Absolutely, V8s. No, Hammond, you can't drive a Corvette in England. It's like talking in a lift. You can do that in America, you can't do that in Britain. In fact, we should have signs at Heathrow telling American visitors, please drive on the left and don't talk in lifts.
Yes, whatever, but I think that looks stupendous. It looks great.
Yes, it would look stupendous in Texas, but it would look ridiculous in Tewkesbury. It would. Hammond, if you bought one of those and drove it around in England, the next thing you'd do would be hanging up a Confederate flag outside your house.
12 cases in the States of children having their fingers amputated by them. And so as a result, they've recalled all the pushchairs. But the pushchairs are the same all over the world, and it's only in the States that they're recalling them. Not over here, for instance. They're...
No, there's a very good reason for that, though. I think it's because British parents are more, what's the word I'm looking for? Intelligent.
Yes. Yeah. Because how could you... I can't shut this buggy down. There's these little pink things in the road.
I got the kid screaming his head off. Shut up, Junior. That's got it.
Stop yelling. It's... There you go.
Now...
The Italian Job. Probably one of the greatest films for those of us who love cars. There's going to be a new one. There's a remake coming up. The Americans are doing this one.
Oh, God.
Yeah. There are going to be a few differences. First of all, the previous one was shot in Turin.
Yeah.
Beautiful Italian city. The new one is going to be shot in the beautiful Italian city of Los Angeles. Which technically isn't Italian, of course.
No.
Well, hang on then. If it's not in Italy, is it going to be called The Job?
It doesn't actually specify that there's going to be a job.
Right, so it's The. Out now, The.
And who are they going to get to play Michael Caine?
Well, probably Vin Diesel. He's doing everything else, isn't he?
Because who did they get to do the remake of the Get Carter?
Stallone.
It was Stallone, wasn't it? You can't have him going, only ask you to blow the bloody doors off.
That'll never work.
The other thing about the Italian Job is, you know, when it ends and the bus is sort of teetering on the brink of disaster, and then Michael goes, I've got a great idea.
Yeah.
If it's an American, it won't be a great idea, will it?
No, that's true.
They'll just be rubbish, and then there'll be a huge explosion in which some British people will be killed by accident, and then Tom Cruise will come down in a parachute.
Yeah.
And it'll be a rubbish film.
Yes.
OK. Is anybody else feeling slightly conspicuous in their car? Not looking anyone in the eye. Not looking anyone in the eye. If it's a small dog, I'm not here making a noise. Just minding my own business.
I've selected the bumpy road setting for my suspension.
What about the bulletproof setting for your windows?
There's that man walking along playing with his testicles.
The population here a few years ago was 900,000. Now it's down to 500,000, around the same as Sheffield. And the reason for the decline is almost everybody has been murdered.
This plane is the work of genius. It's so clever, I'm surprised the Americans haven't claimed they invented it. And before they get any funny ideas, I thought it might be a good idea to pay them a visit.
We invented everything. Without the British, you wouldn't even be here. We gave you Fleetwood Mac and Oasis and The Who and Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones and Genesis and Pink Floyd. And what did we get back in return? What did you give us? I'll tell you what you gave us. Michael Bolton. Thank you very much. How you've enriched the world with the stupefyingly dull...
Okay, buddy. Quiet down. Very peaceful neighborhood. You've had your say. No more. And you've had your warning.
We invented the police force!
That's
and
it.
we invented...
All right, thank you very much. Let's take a ride down.
We invented the US Navy, did you know that?
Nice warm cell.
Are they handcuffs? They're British. Painful police brutality, that was one of ours. And you're going to put me in a car. A German invention, that, you know, got nothing to do with you lot. Do you know how many American components there are in Concorde?
Not interested.
Well, you should be, because I'll tell you how many there are. None! Not one! Nothing at all!